I was a school psychologist for almost 20 years, and one year I was teaching a math in a basket class, and it's really a curriculum I developed where I went back in the middle schools and taught math concepts through basket making, because I think a lot of craft forms are very scientific or mathematically based. The primary influence on my work is Fibonacci's nature sequence. And Fibonacci was a 13th century Italian mathematician who figured out that throughout all the spirals in nature, the same proportions occur, whether you see the spirals in a seashell or a pine cone or a flower petal. But my baskets duplicate the same proportions that you might see in a chambered nautilus or a sunflower. And it influenced Frank Lloyd Wright's architecture and Michelangelo's statue of David, Da Vinci's art, Bartok's music, because people really respond to the natural flow, the movement of the baskets, without really knowing why. And it's because of this very ancient theory that Fibonacci figured out. Basically, I make two very distinct styles of baskets. The Appalachian baskets sit flat, are based on tradition, and really will hold your objects. But the shaker baskets are cat's head in shape, and I weave them upside down for about a third of the way. And the way I get this shape is pulling very tight on the weaver and pulling in on my corners so that I create the ears and the face of the cat. And when I turn it upside down, it will become the feet and the body of the basket. Basically sit up here in Mitchell County and make baskets, and I'm totally amazed at some of the people that come up my driveway. I love it. I think that's what has made me feel like I've got to make the best possible work that I can make. But it's all just, sort of evolved, and being made a living treasure and having the Smithsonian acquire a piece are probably the highlights of my career. And I think the effect that it's had on me, even though my husband said I've found a way to make a living with my compulsiveness, is it has made me more aware of what I'm making, and that I want it to be the absolute best that I can do, because I feel like I'm not only representing me and my work, but it's almost like the county and the state, and with this title that it is something to be taken seriously, and I'm very honored and very humbled by it. Sort of validates what you do, but to me, there's nothing any more special than somebody that lives up the road from me calling and saying, I'd really like to get a basket for my mom for Mother's Day. That means as much to me as the ones that go to the museums, because I know that the people, really do want it, and the people that go to all the trouble of coming up here to see me is really special too, because I think it lets me know that they are interested in what I do and want to see the pieces and the collection. I would like to be remembered for sort of elevating basketry off the floor and onto a pedestal, because so many people tend to think of baskets as something very utilitarian that you throw your newspapers in. And I've really tried to create baskets that bring beauty to people. But as a mother and a grandmother, and the values that I instill in my children and grandchildren, and hopefully sharing my creativity with them, and I think the teaching that I've done of basketry, that the craft form will survive. And I'm sure it will, because it's the oldest craft form around. It predates pottery, and I feel like I'm just a little piece of history, perhaps passing through with what I've contributed to the field. The whole secret of basket making. It's very profound, but very simple. All you got to know to make a basket is over, under. And every basket maker on the planet goes over and under. And what separates one of us from the other is what we go over and under, the materials we use, and the pattern we put in. And I think one reason I love it so much is that there is this natural rhythm to it. It's almost like I'm playing music, but you see the music I make rather than hear it. I think that's the difference between what I do and, say, somebody that's a blacksmith and is playing with the anvil and you can hear the music.